Well, Miami, they really got better. And again, Milwaukee did what they had to do. And this is, again, from the outside looking in. I don't know what their inner workings are. But those teams got better. Milwaukee, I felt like, and also Miami. But again, we can't sit and worry about them with our organization and our plan. We got to go with what we have, continue to plan, continue to grow, evaluate it this summer, and see which way we need to go at that time.
JJ was saying that he thinks that this locker room is close to where it needs to be going into the last third of the season. Do you feel the same way?
Well, that was a message going in the shoot-around this morning. I was telling the guys, we got 29 to go. We're going to divide them up into 5-game series, 1 4-game slot at the end. But we got to look at it in mini series like that. And again, they're going to go by fast, but they're going to probably be the hardest 29 games we've had since I've been here, because everybody's going to come out with their A game. We're not sneaking up on anybody, so we've got to bring the effort. Are we going to face adversity? Yes. But it's how we fight through that adversity, those tough times, not read the papers, not listen to TV. This group in this room are going to be the guy that's in those battles, in those foxholes, those trenches, and that's how we're going to get better. And every time we walk on the floor, just like this morning, we had a little accelerated shoot-around. We got to make those times precious to get better, and to knowing what we're working toward at the end of the year, not like before hoping to get there, unless something terrible happens, we're going to be there. So we got to keep that in mind. It's a different approach for a lot of these guys who haven't been in the position before.
Do things change after the All-Star break in terms of the intensity of your opponents? Like, is there less games where you can catch a team on a bad night or an off night, or where they're sort of floating?
Well, it depends on who you play. Yeah. Teams are out of it. Their players are playing for something. They're playing for contracts next year. The teams are in it. They're playing for positions and spots or whatever. So, yes, the intensity does go up, and it should go up for us, too, because we're working to get better. We're fighting for slots. We're fighting for positions. So now is the time the intensity should ramp up internally.
Is it important to you to have a set starting 5 going into figuring one out through these final 29 games going into the playoffs, or it doesn't matter?
Not really. For us, different players are going to bring different skill sets to the table, different matchups. You would hope to have that as a coach, a set 5 all the time, but I don't know if we're going to have that. Again, from a greedy standpoint, I hope we don't. I hope we do have guys competing for positions, pushing guys for more playing time. That means we are getting better, and those players are getting better. So, I don't want complacency. Again, planning-wise, preparation-wise, yes, we have a rotation in mind that we want to stick with, but that starting unit could not change.
Is it overstated how important that is? I mean, Brooklyn changed it in the middle, or Game 6, I think, last year, and the Spurs changed it in the finals.
Every game. They changing it now every game. So, no, Eric, again, if you got a set 9 or 8 or 9 guys, maybe 10 in some situations, you should be able to change. Those guys should be able to be ready to step into that spot. And whether it's your into the game team that's going on the court, I like guys knowing every spot on the floor. So it's good that it means you're pretty good. Second unit's pretty good if you can be interchangeable like that, and I kind of like it because you never know what happens in this league, and you got to be prepared to either coming off the bench or starting, from that standpoint.
Generally, do players understand that, or do they kind of get taken, read into that roles a little bit more than they should?
No, guys want, it's something about having your name announced over the loudspeaker and fans jumping up and cheering for you and being in the starting unit. That's important to some, but again, it shouldn't be, but I'm sure to players it's a little bit different from a coach's standpoint. But we got to do what's best for the team, put the guys out there that's best for the team, the 8 or 9 guys, and have them ready to go from a coaching and planning standpoint.
Is it easier, Dwane, without changes? The fact that you made no changes? I mean, if you were bringing somebody new in, that would make it, all of a sudden people start reading into, well, this guy's playing in front of me, or he's getting more time, or those were my minutes kind of thing.
Right, no question. The continuity is what we're banking on and going with. It's easier not bringing somebody in you know, especially going into this last stretch here. And guys know where they are, they know where they stand, and what little difference there is in the rotation, guys understand it and they know where they fall in line in that rotation from a rotation standpoint.
To expand upon that point, I mean, maybe expand upon what you said about Terrence yesterday. Any need to talk to him at all, given how much chatter and how much poking he was getting?
No, not at all. Terrence knows. We've communicated. We meet with him all the time. We watch film with him all the time. I watched film with him yesterday. You know, not necessarily about his role. Everybody understands their role. I don't think that's alarming or anything like that. He understands that nothing is in stone in this league. You know, you scratch and claw and you earn your way back if you want to get back in the starting lineup. And again, that's going to make us better if he's doing that, because it means he's playing at a high level from that standpoint. So he understands. And again, our locker room, I think right now, everybody understands their role. They understand the goal. They understand the mission that we're on. They understand the obstacles we may run into, and but it's how we handle them once we get there is going to be crucial, and not get knocked off kilter or get our chemistry mixed up by worrying about too much about the roles or playing time and minutes. Because when you win, all those things are good. You know, if everybody's on the same page buying in, we all should be on the same page and understand what we're trying to do.
Are you going to have to fight maybe your own desire to maybe look at the standings every once in a while and see how matchups are going?
No, because I don't have those desires, and you know, I'm a bottom line guy. What goes on out here? I mean, we have to keep focused and understand what's going on out here. I understand how many games behind we are. This team we're playing tonight, I understand all that. I don't have to look at it daily. I just have to worry about, our staff has to worry about, you know, getting stuff done out here on the court, which, believe me, takes a lot of time.
You were talking about the change. How much do you change and your staff change as the season goes on in terms of whether it be philosophy, adapting to the 5 that you're going with, or
right.
a 9-man rotation versus 8 versus 10,
right.
just kind of adapting as the season goes?
No, we have to be adaptable. We have to be flexible. We have to look at productivity, who's playing well, who's not playing well, and understand, you know, the needs that we have coming up in the games. Each game is going to change. My intensity level, our intensity level as a coaching staff is going to go up here going down the stretch, not from a win-loss standpoint, but from a get-better standpoint. Nitpicking on the little things, footwork, position on the floor defensively, rotations, boxing out, all the little things that we can control. You know, we as a staff are going to be more nitpicking and you know, more, I guess, intense about those situations going down the stretch.
Is it even more so now because there wasn't a quick fix with a trade or a player that came in? Whatever issues or whatever weaknesses you might have,
right,
need to be internally fixed.
Right. It goes back to what Jonesy said. And again, you always can find something that can be fixed, because we're not a perfect team, and I don't know if there is a team in the league, but it makes it easier because we know who we have. We know what weaknesses and strong points they have, and we can be more intense on nitpicking in those situations and those guys for each individual player, more so than having somebody new and trying to integrate them into what we're doing.
Dwane, bringing the focus to the Hawks, I mean, this is a team that imposed their will on you the last time you guys faced them. What's one of the most difficult things about defending a team that moves the ball the way they do? Well,
the thing about it, not only moving the ball, but each guy that the ball's moving to can shoot it. That's, you know, they have 5 shooters on the floor mostly at all times. They're 5-man, both 5 men, Horford and Antich, can shoot the 3. So that's, you know, a lot of teams in the league move the ball, but it may go to a non-shooter once in a while that you can kind of cheat off of. So that's the hard part about their team. That's very difficult. They run, they're fast, they're athletic. But again, they have a team full of shooters, and again, their team is a model of what the teams of the future with the new collective bargaining agreement. There's very few teams that's going to have a team full of superstars. They have a team full of very good players, a lot like us, that have bought in not only offensively, they're a very good defensive team. They're one of the top defensive teams in the league. You know, so they've got a team that are full of guys that have bought in to that system, but a team full of very good shooters, and that makes them different with that ball movement. And everybody talks about swinging side to side, side to side, but when you swing it, that's what gets you out of kilter a little bit when you know that next guy can shoot the three. So now that spaces your defense out a little bit more, and now here goes Teague and Schroeder going down your paint. So that's the problem that this team presents as far as the ball movement is concerned.
Obviously, Horford's healthy this year. Beyond that, is there a reason they took off this season and not last season that you can?
No, he's huge.
Yeah.
He's huge because he's the closest thing to the All-Star that they have, and I mean, superstar. That's a good word, superstar. And he's healthy. We called him early before he was healthy, but now he makes all the difference in the world, offensively and defensively. But he, last year they didn't have him, and they were a different team. They were still a good team, but he's healthy. Schroeder has grown up. DeMar Carroll is playing well. Korver's having an elite year. So everything, the perfect storm is coming together for them. And again, they're the team that you enjoy watching, but you don't enjoy playing against.